Well, here we are again. October 9th, uh, Thursday at 7:21 in the morning. How's everyone doing? I'm doing great. Feeling energetic, feeling excited. It's spooky season. Um, I watch scary movies all year. Some people are like, it's festive, it's Halloween, watch scary movies. Do I watch any more during October? Maybe a little bit, just because more people are watching them and something might get talked about and I hear about it and like, hey, oh yeah, let me watch that again or check that out. But I'm watching horror movies all year long. I'm watching movies all year long. If horror happens to get in there, it's just a matter of choice and chance. I like movies. I watch movies. I've always been that way. It's what I do. Um, Horror and comedy are my favorite genres overall. Comedies, I'm really kind of funny. I like them a lot, but newer comedy really hit or miss for me. I mean, I grew up in the '80s, and things were just raunchier and cheesier and just better. So newer, not saying that I don't like any modern comedies, but a little more hit or miss for me with a modern comedy than something from back in the day. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So adjust the camera a little bit here. There we go. That's a little better. Get situated. All right. So I went to Cinema Wasteland this past weekend, 3-day weekend. Had a great time. Always do. I think I count. I think this was either my sixth or seventh Wasteland, one or the other. I'm going back next year, as always. I love it. Best convention around. If you're an indie filmmaker, if you're a cult fan, you just want to have a good time. Cinema Wasteland, Strongsville, Ohio. Highly recommend. So I've been a permanent vendor for the past couple of years. It's hard to get in the convention as a vendor. They give you the option to re-up, the next year, and if you don't, then your spot goes to someone else. So, and I knew that getting in. I was on the waiting list for 5 years, so it was hard to get into. So I don't want to lose my spot because I have a really great time. I connect with a lot of friends and a lot of new people, and I do pretty well. This was record sales this past one, so that's always nice too. But anyway, they always announce the next one or the last one. So the next one is going to be April 10th, 11th, and 12th, 2026. And here are some of the guests that they already have on board. They usually add a few more, but this is what they got now. So here, I'll just read them off because it might be hard for you guys to read. So we got Michelle Bauer. Do I really need to explain her? Tara Buckman. Looks like she did stunts in Cannonball Run, Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's kind of cool. Gino Crognali, makeup effects artist, Hidden, Basket Case 2, Sin City, From Dusk Till Dawn, Frankenhooker. That's pretty cool. Richard Gabai, Nightmare Sisters, Virgin High, Assault of the Party Nerds. I'm excited about that because I'm going to get to work with Richard here in a couple months on Fred Olen Ray's film, so that's pretty cool. They got Michelle Bauer and Richard Gabai. Maybe they'll get Fred. I don't know. Maybe I can help push that along. Drew Godgers from Blood Diner, Evil Spawn, Cannibal Hookers, Deep Space, Alien Within, the LA Age Jabber. That's a weird one. I got that right behind me somewhere. Not too familiar with that person, but I'm familiar with those movies. Ken Hall, writer, director, special effects, Evil Spawn, Night Visit, Nightmare Sisters, Biohazard. I thought Fred Olen Ray did, or maybe he did the special effects. Ghoulies 2, Hobgoblins, Critters, Gingerbread Man 2. Okay. Quite a catalog. Jeff Lieberman, whom I've met before, and he's been to Wasteland. Squirm, Blue Sunshine, Just Before Dawn, my favorite is. Remote Control is a lot of fun, too. Satan's Little Helper. Kelly Maroney. That's a big one. I've never met her. Always been a fan of her. Night of the Comet. She's got a small part in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Chopping Mall. Slay Ground, Hard to Die, Not of This Earth. She's a scream queen, man. That's pretty cool. Lisa Neld, Playboy magazine pinup model, also in The Sandman, The Girl, Hellcat's Revenge, Swamp Zombies. I'm not too familiar with her. Jonathan Stark, Fright Night. That's what he's probably most well known for. House 2, Project X, Tales from the Crypt and more. I'm a big Fright Night fan, so I'm gonna want to meet him for sure. Brinke Stevens, another classic, Scream Queen. Do I really need to go into her catalog? If you don't know Brinke Stevens and Michelle Bauer are, have you seen a B movie? Tom Sullivan, he's always there. Hung out with him for a little bit this past time. Special effects, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, the inventor of the Necronomicon. Necronomicon, I always say it wrong. You know what I'm talking about. The Book of the Dead. Plus Wayne Allen Harold and Toby Radoff, Cleveland's cult movie icons. The Killer Nerd, Bride of Killer Nerd, Girlfriends, Townies, Genuine Nerd. Anyway, that's Cinema Wasteland. I'm giving you guys the dates early. I don't even think it's on their website. If you don't have plans, you have them now. April 10th, 11th, and 12th. Be there. All right. So since I was just a wasteland, I did some pickups. And I actually had a day off yesterday, and I watched a lot of movies. So this is going to be partially review, partially show and tell, because I didn't get to them all. So I'm just going to go through the Wasteland Hall. So first up, got this movie called Breeding Farm. Now, this is a blind buy. This is a secondhand pickup from Tim Gross, actually. He had a bunch of secondhand stuff. Trauma release. I knew nothing about this movie, who made it, who was in it. I'll be honest with you, the cover art didn't really sell me that much either. I like the title of it, I think is what sold me. And it was $5. I was like, give it a shot. So what was interesting about this movie is dear friend Madeline Deering is in it, as Matthew Deering, though. So this is some early work from Matthew Deering. Pre-Bathtub Shark Attack, definitely, pre-Spirit Animal. And a really significant acting role. And also the writer wrote this thing. And I was really impressed. I didn't even know about this movie. I've known Maddie for years. Never heard her talk about it. So it was a delightful surprise seeing Maddie in this movie acting, and a really great performance from Maddie. And I'm not just saying that because she was my friend, but really great job. I wish we could have seen more of Maddie's acting and a more of a serious role. The roles that I'd see her play in her movies, doing something goofy and comical, which I like that stuff. But it was interesting seeing a more dramatic role from Matthew Deering. So check this one out. This was released in 2013. I don't know if it got a blue. This is a Trauma release. I don't know if they still have it in print or what, or if it looks like some of her partners in crime, Joe Ruscio, which I know she collaborates with. I don't know if they have copies or there's a blue or some other release. But try to find this one. I found it secondhand. Delightful surprise. Breeding Farm. All right. Night of the Demons 2. So I'm a big Night of the Demons fan. Amelia Kincaid, Linnea Quigley. It's a fun movie. It's a Halloween movie too. I had never seen part 2. I think there's a part 3, maybe even a part 4. I know there's a remake. I knew about part 2 though. I knew it existed. I just never saw it. Found this really cheap. Friend sold it secondhand. It's a fun movie. I mean, the story was pretty typical. Didn't matter. There was naked ladies and demons. That's all I needed. The story was, again, very predictable. But there was some fun special effects in it. This is early 90s, 94. So there was some CGI in it that was a little questionable. But again, I didn't care. It didn't matter. The first one, I like the first one better. But, this is a nice follow-up. If you're still wanting some more Night of the Demons, where do you go? Night of the Demons 2. Not sure if this has a blue release or if it's streaming or what. But again, try to find it secondhand. Night of the Demons 2. All right, another sequel, The Occultist 2. I had never seen the first one. Okay, this was released by Sterling Movie Factory. Okay, so it's a David Sterling movie. He's Things. He's been around for a long time. I had never heard of these movies. My opinion, this started out strong, started out great, and I kind of got lost, as it went on. didn't really hold my attention, unfortunately. But positives, great lighting. The special effects were pretty well done. Um, it was decent for what it was. I'll probably be passing this one off to a friend, but I don't know. Have to check. I would watch the first one. Go backwards. Maybe there's a third one too. I don't know, but found this secondhand as well. The Occultist 2. All right, Tapehead, The Return of Jacob Cobb. Okay, love the cover, love the title. I mean, this box cover art really sold me. Everything. I mean, it looks so cool, man. It reminded me of the Video Dead a little bit. So it kind of lost my attention, guys. And no offense to the filmmakers. I don't know. I can't really say much about it. I don't know how many movies they've made, but it had every potential to be amazing, and it was just, I don't know, kind of mediocre for me. But I don't know. Maybe you like it more than me. I mean, the cast was good. I thought the actors did a decent job, but the story I think it just wasn't for me. But anyway, check it out. This is Tapehead. This was released in 2023, so a couple years ago. So that's probably still around. Easy to find. But that's Tapehead. Okay, all right. I didn't put this one in the title because I don't want to get kicked off YouTube because everyone's sensitive now, whatever. But this, as far as titles go, this is one of the best titles that's been created in a long time. This is Cocaine Stepdad. This is the DVD release. There's a Blu-ray release as well. I picked up the DVD because I'm cheap. Good friend Nathan Rumler, filmmaker, was selling this. He didn't make it. I don't even think he had anything to do with it. But a filmmaker friend of his couldn't make it to Wasteland, so he was selling copies of it. And I had heard some people talking about it before Wasteland, and I didn't even really know that Nate was going to be selling it. But I saw it on his table. I was like, Cocaine Stepdad, come on. So I'll say this. The movie's all right. It had so much potential with that title. I know what I would have done. If I would have had this title in my head, I know what I would have made. That title is genius. And it didn't live up to the title, in my opinion. I'm sorry, guys. There was so much potential for madness. And it had a little bit of that. There was some fun things, but it just, I don't know. It's hard for me to, because I'm a filmmaker, it's hard for me to not say that, I know what I would have done. But hey, man, I don't know how many movies these guys have made. I mean, I can tell you what, just the fact that they came up with this title is a win. Keep going that route. I think they're going to get better. Like I said, there is some interesting, fun stuff in it. I wish there was more of that. And that's Cocaine Stepdad. I mean, you should buy this movie anyway, just to have it in your collection. It's going to read Cocaine Stepdad somewhere. People are going to want to look at it. Cocaine Stepdad. All right. Okay. The winner of the bunch, in my opinion, out of all that I've watched, this is, her name was Christa. Now, I had seen the cover art for this movie. It's been out for a few years. I heard some people talking about it. It's just, I thought maybe I did buy it. I might have a DVD release around here that I didn't even watch. It's possible. Nevertheless, I didn't watch till last night. And I tell you what a delightful surprise. This one was a win. Very interesting movie. Friend James L. Edwards, actor, is in it. He came by Wasteland, said hi. I bought this secondhand. No one was really selling it, I don't think. This is a DVD and blue release. And I think, and it's got this cool reversible cover art that I really like. And I feel like I might even have the DVD of this. I might have bought it and just never got to it. But anyway, I watched it last night. Man, I tell you what, this was really good. I don't want to give too much away. Very reminiscent of Necromantic. And I went into this movie pretty much totally blind, other than just knowing the name and the cover art. And I'm glad I did, because it was really a delightful surprise. I enjoyed it. The actors were great. Really great story. I'll be revisiting this one. And that's the thing. Like all these movies you see behind me, physical media, it's all about revisiting them. That's the point of a collection. If you plan on watching some of these movies over, that's why you have them. If you're not going to do that, you're just collecting to collect and maybe show off, or maybe you're trying to invest. I don't even collect movies. I watch movies, and collecting them is just what happens. And I collect the, at this point in my life, I collect the ones I plan on rewatching. And this one will be rewatched. This is a great movie. Check it out. Like I said, winner of the bunch. Really dug it. So that's her name is Christa. All right, up next. Okay. Wally meets Popeye. This is by filmmaker friend Steve Rudinsky. Is it Ruzinski? Rudinsky? I apologize, Steve. I've never even asked you about that. I probably didn't do it, saying it wrong. So Steve Rudinsky is a friend and a filmmaker. He's been doing it just as long as I have and made the exact same amount of movies, which is really interesting. We talk about that, and we kind of make fun of that a little bit. And not to shoot anyone down, but so I made a movie this year as well called Fatal Desires. He made this. We both started at the same time. We both did our fundraisers. We both had our movie at Wasteland, and we're like, why can't everyone else do that? Why? I mean, if you can't make a movie in a year, I'm sorry, you're not trying hard enough, man. If it's your first movie, I get it. Make it. I'm not saying making a movie is easy, but if you've been doing it for a while and trying for a while, I see some of these people running like 3 fundraisers. They shot for a day. They got a trailer cut together, but things just aren't working out. Oh, this actor can't be there. Guess what? I've replaced an actor the day of a shoot. And no offense to the actors, but the show must go on, man. And Steve, I think, is that way too. He finishes projects, and that's what I love and respect about him the most. With that being said, this is more of a comedy. I wouldn't even necessarily call it a horror comedy. There's a couple little horror elements. They got some cool puppets in this that were really well done, and some of the special effects were really cool, and that's what I was most impressed with. And Popeye looked great. I mean, I know most of the budget, I think, he went into Popeye's arms, and he looked really cool. Carly Sonnenfeld plays Olive Oil, but spelled differently, because I think she's not in public domain yet. I could be wrong. Check me if I'm wrong, Steve. But Carly did a great job. I think it's my favorite performance from her. I've seen her in a couple things. Really nice lady, up and coming actress. I want to see her do more stuff. I'd love to work with her too. She's really nice. I was chatting with her a little bit at Wasteland. She bought a movie from me. I see her every year, and it was nice to see her in this. But fun movie. This one's safe for the kids, guys. If you got kids, Steve makes a lot of PG movies, which is cool. You don't see too many underground directors, going that route. But the guy makes what he wants to make, man. And that's what I appreciate about him. Make what you want to make. So anyway, check out his new one, Wally Meets Popeye. He's got 17 other movies. I can't think of them all. I got one I'm saving. It's like Meowie Christmas. Oh, here it is. Yep. Hey, Meowie Christmas. The Die Hard thing is what sold me. So I bought that from him, the last Wasteland. I haven't watched it yet, Steve. I apologize, but I can't watch movies out of season. Like but we're getting there. It's going to be soon that I pull that out. I'm going to pull out my Christmas movies, and that'll be in the watch pile. But anyway, Wally Meets Popeye. Fun movie. Check it out. Okay. All right. So now we're into the movies, or a couple of mine to check out yet. So this is Muck. So Muck is a Stephen Walsh film. So I've seen his other film, Kill Her Goats, and I believe he has one more, and I can't think of it offhand. And then he's also remaking Return of the Living Dead. There's some questions about that, but I'm pretty sure this is his first film, and I really like Kill Her Goats. Is Kill Her Goats a great movie? No, but I like bad movies, and it was fun. Had all Playboy Playmates in it, and I think he might have went the same route. Yep, Playboy Playmate. It's got Kane Hodder in it. The guy knows what he wants to make, and he knows how he casts his movies. He's out of California. You can tell he's got higher budgets than some of the other indie guys, and hey, man, good for him. But I like Kill Her Goats, so I'm interested to see what he did before that. This is Muck, and I didn't get to watch this one yet, but I'll probably be watching the next couple of days. So check out Kill Her Goats, though. I mean, I enjoyed it. I could see some people not liking it, but I thought it was fun. So anyway, Stephen Walsh, Muck. Okay, so the next two I've seen, and this is more of a show and tell. This is the Tim Ritter Collection and Killing Spree. So Tim Ritter is my favorite indie director. I've known Tim for years, chatted with him many a time, online, on the phone, gotten a lot of information from him. Really, really, really swell guy, very talented filmmaker, and a good person. And it was finally nice to meet him. So I had him sign these, You know, we got the Tim Ritter collect. I had never gotten the guy's autograph before, and I have a Killing Spree poster too that I don't know where it is. That's bothering me a little bit. I'm gonna track that down later. But Killing Spree is probably my second favorite of his catalog. I'm a big Creep fan, which I think Creep is in this. This box set's got Twisted Illusions 1 and 2, Creep, Dirty Cop No Donut, Dirty Cop No Donut 2, and Reconciled Through Christ. And then I believe he has a Truth or Dare box set that Sub Rosa also put out. But I brought these with me to Wasteland to have him specifically sign them. You know, not that I would have went up and talked to him anyway. He was everything that I thought he would be. Super nice guy. I was a little embarrassed and I fanboyed in front a little bit. He went to like shake my hand and I went to like hug him and I knocked a bunch of stuff down on the table. It was bad, but chatted with him throughout the convention. You know, shared a couple stories. I wish I could have spent more time with him, but at least I got to meet him. We got a picture, signed a couple things for me, and you know, when I did go to his table, I wanted to support him. I wanted to buy something from him, and I'm looking at his table and like I have everything. So with that being said, there were a couple things I didn't have, and I'm gonna show you those right now. Let me put these away. So this is what I didn't have from Tim. So somewhere I got high 8. I don't know. I'll have to track that down. But a few years back, they did this compilation called High 8. Probably my favorite to date, like of an anthology, like from the underground guys. There's been a few. There's been a lot. I've done one. I made Earth Girls Are Sleazy. I think my favorite though is High 8. You know, out of what I've seen over the years, it was really cool. They're all no budget, all like the underground shot on video guys. I got to help Marcus with Marcus Cook, and it's a lot of fun. With that being said, they made 2 sequels, High Death and High Fear, which I haven't seen. They've been on my radar, just something I hadn't gotten to. High Death was the sequel after High 8, and then High Fear came out after that. So High Death came out in 2018, and then High Fear 2022. So that's pretty recent. I'm excited to check these out. Let's see, who do we have on High Death that came back? Oh, it says who it's starring, written by. Okay, Anthony Cantonese. I think he did something in the first one. Tim Ritter, Amanda Payton, Brad Sykes, and Todd Sheets. So Brad Sykes, Todd Sheets, Tim Ritter. I'm pretty sure they all worked in the first one. Then we got High Fear, Todd Sheets, Tim Ritter, Anthony Cantonese, Brad Sykes. So all those 4 guys came back. I think a couple of directors from the first ones, definitely aren't in here. But I enjoy all 4 of those directors. Todd, Tim, Anthony, Brad Sykes. Brad Sykes, I believe, is the mastermind behind these. I think he was the guy that put them all together. It was his idea. Check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. But I think it was his creation. But anyway, I'm glad to have the sequels in the collection. Bought these off of Tim. I didn't have these. I'm like, okay, here's something I don't have. And then there were 2 other things. And this is the last things we're going to go over that I didn't have, that I didn't even know existed. And I saw these and I'm like, holy moly. First off, Killing Spree the book. So this is the screenplay. There's some stories in here. There's a few pictures. Now here's the Last Wasteland leaflet that I always like to keep. Tim signed it for me. Really cool. It's going to be interesting to look through the script for Killing Spree. There's some cool. So this is the poster that I got that I can't find, but that's what it looks like. He told me that was like the original poster they were taking at theaters and stuff like that. So it's really cool. They got, looks like they got a write-up in Variety magazine. There's just little stories and stuff in here about the movie. And I didn't even know this existed. So I didn't have this. So I was like, I got to have it. It's got the official barcode, ISBN thing and everything. I think you can buy these online too, because I was talking with a friend, Alberto Giovanelli. I told him, I was like, oh yeah, I got those. I bought it on Amazon. I'm like, what? So then this is the Truth or Dare. It's the same thing. I mean, it's bigger. It's more like a script. And it's the same thing. You got some fun storyboards. Oh, that's really cool. A lot of storyboards, and then the scripts and all that kind of good stuff, and then signed by Tim Ritter again. So I didn't have either of these, so these are fun to have. in the collection. That's Truth or Dare or Killing Spree, the book. So anyway, that's all I got. That's the show and tell / review session. We'll be back next week. I'm working on having more guests. You know, we've had Sushi, we've had Bob. I'm going to try and get more of my actors in here, you know, but it's hard. We all have lives. We all have other things, but we'll get them back. We'll get new guests. We'll get Bob and Sushi back, and we'll have fun. We'll talk movies, guys. So see you next time.